Welcome to Empowered Women on BEON TV. I am your host, Fajli Bibi. Today, I will be introducing to you an inspirational lady, a survivor of the 9/11 attack in America. She is also, get ready for this, Mrs. India UK Universe 2019. Also a corporate leader, working for one of the top 4 consulting companies in the world. She's also a singer, a humanitarian, an innovator. She's received an award as an innovator. And on top of that, she works with women to inspire, empower, and raise their aspiration. And that is exactly what our show is about. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a lady with beauty and brain combined together. Hello. How are you, my dear? Please introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adrija Biswas, and thank you, Fajli, for the really warm introduction. I am very, very humbled and honored to be here today and to share my story, and I hope to inspire and motivate many women with my story.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to welcome you, Adrija, on our show. And it is amazing the work that you're doing, actually. I'm totally inspired by the work that you're doing. And I would like to actually ask you something about your background, because you have a very interesting background.
I do.
You have a big link to Bangladesh. So please tell us about that.
Well, my parents are from Bangladesh. My dad is from Sylhet, and my mom is from Mymensingh. So it's really an amazing honor to be here. And when I meet fellow colleagues and people from Bangladesh, it's always such a warm feeling. And I was born and raised in Kolkata, but I'm very close to the whole Bengali traditions. I sing Bengali songs, and it's just it's a culture which I'm very, very proud of, and I'm a very proud Bengali.
Well, on that note that you sing Bengali, I would love to ask you to sing something in Bengali.
Okay, here it goes. Shadher lau banailo more boiragi, o shadher lau banailo more boiragi, lawer aga khailam, daga go khailam, aga khailam go, lawer aga khailam, daga go khailam, laudi banailam duki duki, ami laudi banailam duki duki, shadher lau banailo more boiragi, o shadher lau banailo more boiragi.
Wow, Zaram, that was amazing.
Thank you.
You have been selected for a talent competition. Tell us about that.
It's a UK Vijayata singing, it's a talent competition, and the finale is on the 14th of September in Glasgow. And I have been selected for round 2 already. And it's interesting, I'll be singing in 4 different languages for that. And
which other languages are you singing? Tell us.
It's in Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, and Tamil. Well, it was a contest where they wanted us to pick different languages, and I am multicultural, so I wanted to show that I can speak more languages, because for me, I'm a very people person, and more people, more cultures, is what touches my heart.
So you're a singer, and you're also a crowned beauty queen.
Yes.
But you studied in a completely different path.
I did.
So tell us about your career and what you studied, actually, because this is very interesting.
It is, yes. So growing up, I've always wanted to be a doctor. You know, that typical thing about you can either be a doctor or an engineer, but my parents have given me a lot of wind beneath my wings, and they let me live my dreams. So I studied engineering, and I did my research from IIT Powai in Mumbai. Then I did my master's in electronics and telecommunication from an Ivy League school, Columbia University, New York, which I'm very, very, proud and blessed of. And then I switched completely and did my MBA from Warwick Business School, UK. So, as you said, Fajli, I do have a varied academic background. But it's always been a pleasure giving back to society in whatever I've done. in engineering, you talked about 9/11. I was very, very humbled that after 9/11 happened, I was part of the research team in Columbia University. And it feels like a humble contribution that I could make being part of the disaster recovery protocol that Columbia University invented in New York City. So I felt good that I was able to give back from an academic perspective.
Excellent, because, you were actually in the trade center when the bombing was, when the attack was happening. Yes. So tell us, what was you doing in there?
So that was my first week in New York City, fall semester, September 2001 is when I started my master's. And my train was the last train to come from New Jersey into New York City, which is the World Trade Center, because from there I would switch into the subway and go uptown. And I can talk about my story now, but I remember when I came out of the tower and looked up, I saw the second plane hit with my own eyes. And it was a very surreal feeling because I had no idea what was going on. I knew people said there was a bomb in the building. For the next 45 minutes, I didn't know what to do, where to go. The train stations had stopped, so I stood there. And when you were seeing fire in the building, I was seeing burning bodies fall down. And when 1 second the building was there and the very next second the whole building came crashing down, and when you were seeing a cloud of smoke, I was there breathing in asbestos and choking just to keep myself alive. And when you were watching TV, obviously I was on the other end, but saying those prayers, one of your prayers touched me, and today I'm alive to tell the story. So, yes, it's been a life-changing event for me, and I'm really, really blessed to be alive because on that day I learned that there is hope, and on that day I learned that there is happiness, which is why I kept asking, why has God granted me this new lease of life? For me, it's all about spreading hope and happiness in abundance wherever I go and in whatever I do.
Wow, that's beautiful, actually, to witness something like that, and to see the death of so many people, and then to come and share that story.
Yeah, I can talk about it now, and I think it's important for people to understand that things happen, disasters happen, but it's all about getting up again. And it's all about moving forward in life, but also acknowledging the blessings and also making sure that you respect people and you respect your life, which is really, really important because you never know what happens tomorrow. You need to make the most of it.
Nobody knows what tomorrow holds.
Exactly.
And that's why I always say, live every day as your last day.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
And it is very, very important for us to actually treasure the moments and the people that are in our life too.
Absolutely.
Because on that day, you've seen a lot of people die. Was there any particular case that actually stayed with you?
There was this girl. I remember she stood next to me during those entire 45 minutes, and she wanted to go back into the building, which was on fire. And when I saw her later, this is when I was taken into Chinatown, and I was flushed. Every time I was being flushed, there was brown water coming out of me. She couldn't recognize me. She didn't know who I was, and she had lost her memory. There was another woman I met in the hospital who was on one of the high floors, and she had felt that jerk moving from one end to the other. So there were all these stories that I heard, and some were alive to tell the story, and some were not too lucky, and I have been lucky. So yes, I think what really stuck to me that day is I am blessed, and life is a blessing full of miracles.
Well put, actually. It is a blessing, and you have a purpose.
I do.
In the world, we all have a purpose here, and we have a journey. and this is the start of your journey, and you've moved to, you said 1 week. What was the purpose of you moving to, New York?
For my master's, for getting into Columbia University, I couldn't give up. It was an Ivy League school, and I was very, very excited to start my master's in Columbia University, because most people dream of going to that university, and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was from Columbia University, so it was a dream come true being there and in New York City, which has been a fabulous experience.
Wow, America, everyone dreams of America, the American dream, as they say, actually. So, now, all these things that's happened to you must have made you a very strong person.
Yes. Yep.
You've had a lot of incidents happen to you in that journey of your life. And what is it that kept you going in you? What is your secret?
I believe, as you rightfully say, that 9/11 happened, and that was a physical 9/11. On that day, I could have either lived or I could have died, but I lived. But there were many personal 9/11s that I went through in life after that, where I was literally dying every single day that I was living. But what kept me going was, the tremendous support that I've had from my family and my friends, because I've had first-hand experience of women giving up on hope, struggling through challenges, losing the will to live, hitting rock bottom, and then bouncing back up and grabbing hope with both hands. And if I didn't have my parents, or if I didn't have the love from my family and friends, I don't think I could have managed it. So that's definitely one of the biggest blessings that kept me going. But my biggest strength is positivity. And I see patterns where people see complexity. I love being positive, and I love to see the positive in people and in things. And to be honest, Fajli, I think that had been ingrained in us ever since I was very little. And I'm happy to kind of, talk about that experience as to how I came about to being so positive, which has kept me going.
Yeah, we'd like to hear that, definitely.
Okay, well, I've grown up in the glitz and glamour of Mumbai, and my mother was a director-producer in Mumbai, but she kept us very, very down to earth and very humble. And I thank her each and every day for keeping us that way, for keeping us grounded, because it has prepared me to face the world. And today I am a woman of substance because of that upbringing that I have received. The other thing my mother used to always say is, if you don't like something about a person or a thing, change your outlook, change the lens. You'll be pleasantly surprised what you might like about that person. So ever since I was little, I've always appreciated the positives in people and looked at the positives and best in things. And to be honest, that has kept me going and has helped me through all of the struggles and the personal 9/11s that I have been through in my life.
Thank you. And I want to know about the personal problems that you've had in your life. But before we do that, we are going to take a short break. We will be back soon. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to Empowered Women on BEON TV. Tonight's guest, Adrija, is actually sharing stories about her journey, a global journey that she's been through. We finished just before she was about to tell us about her personal journey. Now we will actually start on her personal journey. So dear, tell me about your personal journey and about your marriage. How did you get married, and where was this young man come from?
It was an arranged marriage, a very typical Bengali family arranged marriage. And I had a lot of dreams and I had a lot of hopes. Very typical, get married and have the fairy tale happily ever after. But sadly, that did not happen. I was in a very emotionally, psychologically, financially, and to a certain extent, physically abusive relationship. And it soon ceased to be a fairy tale. I think I tried a lot to kind of be in there because it's very cultural to make the marriage work. But when my ex cheated on me with my best friend, that's when I probably still would have gone on, like typical women, but most people ask me, you are so educated, you've got master's degree, why did you stay? I think because I believed in the institution of marriage, and that is really, really important. But when you are not getting the love and when you're not getting the respect, then it makes it very, very hard. My ex filed for divorce on my birthday, which was a big blow. I was very young, and for me to see lawyers and for me to see courts at that age, I'm not sure how I handled all of that. And even when I look back now, I don't know how I managed. Every letter from that lawyer I would get, I would choke, I would cry, and I would think, why doesn't just life grab, I just couldn't live anymore. And there was a point in life where I almost gave up. I almost gave up, and I was at the point of suicide. But my parents came to my rescue at that point of time, and they said, what doesn't break you makes you stronger. You need to live life. And I'm so grateful that I had their support, because actually in my journey, when I went through that divorce and when I went through the breakup, I saw so many other women that were being tormented by lawyers and the legal system, and they didn't have their parents and they didn't have the money. And it felt really unfair that they wouldn't get the justice. So I decided to study, and I traveled all over the world with my new job and with my studies. That's when I did my MBA. And I wanted to help those women that didn't have the opportunities. I have fought legally in the highest level of governments in multiple countries. And my son has set precedents in the Indian law. When that happened, there were so many women that came to me because they were in a similar situation. They were in abusive relationships where their partners and their husbands had left them. They had young children, and they didn't know how to start life all over again. They didn't know where to go. They didn't know where to get help. And I'm very, very blessed that I was able to show direction to so many women. And that's what motivated me. I seek a world where women are able to recreate their lives and their stories and make their lives beautiful.
Wow, that is heart-touching. It's a very difficult time that you went through. And one of the things that you mentioned, your best friend. Mm-hmm. Our friends, we share as women, we share everything with our friends.
We do. And we trust them.
You trust them with your life. And that must have been really, really hard for you to find out when it was your best friend that did this to you.
It was a big blow, Fajli. And you know what? I feel that I've gone through these personal 9/11s, but our audience here, there will be so many women who are listening to us today who are probably going through the same 9/11s that I went through. And it was very difficult for me to even comprehend that I could go through such a thing, that the person you love and trust so much, not just your husband, but also your friend, could do that to you. But you know what? Things happen in life. And the most important thing is to be resilient. These incidents taught me to be resilient, taught me to be courageous, and to be fearless. Because life can throw any challenges at you, and no matter the pains, the challenges, the hurts, if you do not lose the confidence, you do not lose your own identity, and you reinvent yourself, that's the biggest success. And that's what made me motivated, and I'm happy. I think me being happy made me feel that I've overcome my ex and my so-called friend. And in the process, I also learned forgiveness.
You just brought something very important, forgiveness. Who did you forgive, your husband or your best friend?
I learned to forgive both of them because I accept life is a blessing, and that's what I was telling you, that for me, my glass is always full, half with air, half with water. And if I had to move on in life, I could not keep the pains and the challenges. I did hold on to it for a long time. But the more I held on to it, the more bitter I got, the more shattered I got, and I lost my strength. When I learned to forgive, and when I learned not forget, I learned to forgive.
Good.
That's when, because I don't think you'll ever forget such a situation. No. And it will always stay with me. But because I learned to forgive, I was able to give my son a better life. And I wanted him to see the beauty and trust people rather than holding on to negativities and bitter. So for me, it was really important as a single mother for a long time to make sure that I learned to let go of the negative things, learn to forgive, and become a better person so I could make my son a better person as well.
Good. And I think that's, as a mother, you clearly said your mom is your inspiration.
Yes.
And you are learning from the best. And that's what you're actually becoming, the best mother in the world. Because to juggle so many things, your career, your study, your son, and being cheated by your best friend and the person that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with, your husband, it's not easy. And there are so many women out there who are struggling. This is the reason we have designed this show, to bring inspirational women like yourself to share your story and say to people, this is one chapter of your life, and your life carries on. Move on to the next chapter. And this is the story that we're bringing of a very strong woman who's hit rock bottom, but she has come out of it. And she's here today to inspire everyone. She is beautiful, talented, highly educated. And for a man to cheat on a woman like that, we don't know what sometimes men are looking for. But that's a different topic, actually. So let's now go back to a subject that you picked up on about domestic abuse, because you do a lot of work with women who are suffering from domestic abuse. And you faced that yourself. I mean, there are so many different types of domestic abuse. Do you want to actually just say a bit about that?
Yeah, sure. And the work that I'm doing, I've launched a program called RASA, which is Rise and Shine Again. And within this, I've got a YouTube channel as well, Adrija Biswas, which talks about RASA. It talks about it's about awareness. We want to build awareness amongst the society. Not many people, I don't know if people are aware, but 1 in 4 women and 1 in 6 men go through abuse in their entire lifetime. And these are just the statistics that we know and have heard of. And there are so many stories that are happening behind doors that we don't know about. So I wanted to create this program called RASA to share and build the awareness. So I've come up with an education series which is talking about what are the types of abuse? What is domestic abuse? Do people understand that? Do they recognize what the signs and the patterns and the symptoms are? Because if everybody did, then we will be able to help people break the silence. We will be able to help our friends, our neighbors. And the other most important thing is domestic abuse is not a woman's issue. With 50% of the audience, which is men not involved, we will never ever solve domestic abuse. And I think it's very important, fathers looking after their daughters, brothers looking after their sisters. And together, men and women, we will be able to solve abuse. We will be able to make our homes and families the peaceful haven that they should be.
And you know what you've just said about family. Domestic abuse isn't always by husband.
No.
There are abuse that's taking place with family members. I mean, there are women who are facing domestic abuse by the whole member of the in-laws, their own families. And these are some of the things that not only women but men are also facing. But men don't actually come out because they feel ashamed of it. Women, you can see the scars on them. And some of the women are suffering in silence. And it is those silent women that we want to bring out and actually share the story, because this show is about women, but women who have overcome those challenges and who are now sharing that story. So if there is anyone out there who have a story to share with us, please get in touch with us on Empowered Women Beyond TV at hotmail.com, and we would love to hear from you. Today we are hearing not just about domestic violence, but about a woman who has not only overcome a cheated husband, a cheated friend, but who has actually become very, very successful in her career as well. So now, please tell me about your career. That you work for one of the top companies in the world. So please tell us about that.
I am a very, very humbled innovator. As you had said in the start of the show, I have a patented app, and I'm very excited about it. It's a banking app. I am a inclusion and diversity lead, so I've mentored more than 200 analysts, shaped their careers and made the next generation of leaders. So it's an immense sense of responsibility and immense sense of satisfaction when I'm building the next generation of leaders. I am into financial services and a senior leader in banking in the top 4 consulting firms, and it's been an incredible journey. I have traveled all around the world. I've lived, worked, studied globally, and never ceases to amaze me all the different cultures that I've come across, and you always continue to learn. So professionally, I'm very blessed to have an amazing career, but it's also about balancing that career with, being at home with my children and my social responsibilities towards society, as well as my passion towards singing and cultural activities.
Thank you. We definitely want to know more about how you balance your professional and family life, and that is a big thing that we want to discuss. But before we do that, we'll take a short break.
Sure.
And we will be back soon. Thank you. Hello, welcome back to Empowered Women on Beyond TV. I'm your host, Fajli Bibi, and with me is an inspirational lady and a beauty queen who's just sharing with you how she's balancing personal life and a career and a family. But as I mentioned, she's beauty queen, a queen of heart. And let's find out more about how and what motivated her to go into the beauty pageant. Please tell us about it.
It's been a very interesting journey. I wanted to be the change that I want to see in the world out there. And in order for me to do that, the point that you raised about me balancing my work, my personal life, my social life, I've seen that a lot of women, they underestimate themselves. They don't give themselves enough credit for the powerful force that they play in society. And I wanted to encourage women to come out and play those leadership roles, those important roles, and more importantly, to give themselves credit, to appreciate them for what they are and what they do for the community and their families. During this process, I noticed that a lot of women are not confident. They're like, oh, but I can't do this and I can't do that. And there's a lot of inhibition. I don't know if you can relate, or friends that you've seen. And that's why I wanted to do something which nobody thought of doing, right? It's overcoming the fear. But more importantly, in our Asian culture, beauty has always been defined by you need to be thin, tall, and fair. And I wanted to break that myth. And that's when Mrs. India UK came along, which was a beauty pageant all about celebrating womanhood. You know, your talents, your skills, your experiences that you bring. And it's not just about physical beauty, but it's about your internal beauty. And it's the balance of your internal and physical beauty. And that's why I wanted to join the beauty pageant to show that, yes, I'm an academic, yes, I'm a great corporate leader, but I can also be a beauty queen, which I am today. But you know, Fajli, the most important reason I joined the pageant is because I wanted a platform to reach out to thousands and thousands of women and to show them that despite trials and tribulations, life doesn't end. And we all need to stay resilient and be courageous and make the lives that we dream of. And I said recently, I met this friend of mine. She called me, Adrija, you're a queen of hearts, not just a beauty queen, a queen of hearts. And the reason she said it is because she trusted me to spread her story and tell her story and represent all the women who are not able to share their stories. So the reason I've joined the pageant is so that I can represent women all over the world and represent their stories. Today what you heard is not my story only. I'm sure there are thousands of women out there that have similar stories, and this platform gives me the opportunity to raise a global voice.
Good. And you picked up on something, that beauty isn't just about looks. Inner beauty is very important. And
That's
I always
right.
say beauty is about how you feel inside. If you feel good inside, it will come out outside as well. And it is very, very important to love yourself. No matter your shape, size, color, you need to love yourself before anyone else can love you. Because we're always looking for love in others, but we forget to love ourselves. Love yourself before anyone else would love you, and before you can love anybody else. And this isn't about looking good. What you're actually, you are an amazing lady who is beautiful. And you know, there are lots of women who are saying today that we might not look like that. It's not about look.
No.
It's about how you feel.
Yeah.
If you feel good, you feel confident. Now, I will be doing a show very soon on how to stay and look good through clothes, makeup and everything. So there will be some tips coming up very soon on here.
That's exciting.
Thank you. And you know, this is something that will be coming very, very soon. So I'll be calling you up. But you are now one of the most beautiful women in the UK. So is there a Prince Charming in your life?
Yes, there is. And this is what I wanted to talk about, rebuilding your life and being able to recreate your stories. I have learned to trust again, and I have learned to love again. And I have found a very, very lovely man who I'm married to now. He's my, a really loving husband, and I have a daughter as well. So, I'm really happy. Life has started all over again. When I didn't think I could love or trust anybody, he came along and has given me the love and respect that every woman wants.
Good.
And I would love to salute those mothers and fathers that are raising their sons to respect women, and those raising their daughters to be fearless, because that's what we need to be doing to create an amazing society.
And it is very, very important for us to have hope, because not every man is like your ex-husband. There are some great men out there who are role models, who respect women and who actually know how to love them and be loyal to them. And it is very important for us to not actually tarnish all mankind because of an action of one man. And it is great to see that you've met somebody and that you're married to, you're settled down. And this is what we're trying to show to women out there, that was one chapter of your life before, and this is a new chapter. It's a new beginning, and you're doing amazing. Looking glamorous and beautiful. And you've received a lot of awards from, so please tell us about some of those awards that you've received.
Well, very recently I received the Nari Tujhe Salam Award, which is the Women We Salute You from the National Human Rights Organization. So that was a very, very humbling moment to receive that recognition because it's a global recognition. I've also got a global Beautiful Survivor Award for surviving not just 9/11, but also the different challenges that I've survived through my life. And I've received a patent, so an Innovator Award. I have been showcased in the Inventor Showcase, and getting a plaque and a CEO's letter one morning was just absolutely breathtaking. So yes, I have been receiving recognitions for all the social work that I have been doing, as well as my corporate achievements, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come. I did interview for Global Inspirational Women, so I was very excited to be called on for that show. It's always humbling knowing that, you know, you come from a place of love, and when you're able to share that love amongst women all over the world, it's magic. And when women help women and when women empower women, it's truly, truly magical.
And I totally agree with you on that, because I believe strong women build stronger women.
Yes.
And it is those insecure women that destroy you, such as your best friend, ex-best friend, I'd say. But you know, you have come out of that, and look at you now. And I'm sure if your ex or any other man is out there looking at you thinking, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, you are not just beautiful, so talented. And I know our viewers loved the song that you sang earlier. But before we ask you to sing again, what message would you like to give to the audience?
I'd just say that life is really, really beautiful, and so are you. And learn to love yourself no matter the pains, the hurts, the challenges. Keep positive, stay positive, be resilient, and you never know what magic awaits for you around the corner. So have a positive outlook and always keep looking for the miracles, because you will surely find it. And I'd also like to tell the audience that I am going to China later this year in December as Mrs. India UK Universe. So would love to have all your, love and support and blessings and prayers, because it's a very proud thing for me to represent two of the countries that has made me who I am today.
Thank you for that, and thank you so much for sharing your inspirational story and your journey with us. I know I was inspired by you before, but truly inspired now, and it is nice to see how humble you are. You know, you're a great achiever, and it is one of the things I always say to people: no matter how far you get, always keep your feet on the ground, stay humble, and be an inspiration to others, help others, because we all have a purpose in this world. And I believe that if you can help someone, just one person, then you have made a difference in that person's life. We all have a responsibility to help each other, help them, inspire them, empower them, be the strength, and try not to ever put anyone down, because we are not here to put anyone down, because our Creator, when He created us, He said, you are the most beautiful person that I have created. So always love yourself and respect yourself. And I hope you have been inspired by our guest and the journey that she has been through. If you have a story like that, please get in touch with us on Empowered Women BEON TV at hotmail.com. Now, before we finish, I'm going to ask you to sing us another song.
Sure, I'll do that. But I just want to say, Fajli, you creating this show has been tremendous. It's such an honor to be here today. And even if we touch one life, as you said, right, I think we have done our duty. So really great work for doing this show. I'm sure you are going to reach out to so many more women and touch their lives. So, bless you for doing this.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The song, yes. I'm going to sing a ghazal. I hope you like it. It's from the movie Sarfarosh. होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए, इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए, जिंदगी क्या चीज है। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है।
Wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. It's breathtaking. And you have an amazing voice.
Oh, thank you.
And we're truly honored that you've come on our show today and
my honor.
share your story. Thank you so much. And I hope everyone out there actually enjoyed what we shared with you today. It has been amazing, and I can't believe we've come to the end of the show and we're about to finish as well. But I thoroughly enjoyed every moment of talking to you, your inspirational journey, and how you have been able to inspire other women. If you feel inspired, if you want to get in touch with us, please contact us on BEON TV. My email address is empoweredwomenbeontv@hotmail.com. It has been a great show today. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I actually did. So now, before we finish, as I said to you, we will share some beauty tips on how to look and feel good. What tips would you like to give to our viewers?
Well, for me, I've always believed in being happy, and it's the inner beauty. When you are happy from your soul and from within, you will look beautiful and gorgeous. And no matter what, you are beautiful. So I wouldn't give any other tip other than saying, feel happy, feel blessed, and you will look gorgeous both in and out.
Thank you, and I totally agree with you. Happiness is key to beauty and key to success. But also, we always feel that when we do ourselves up, no matter how ill you are or how sad you feel, but if you look in the mirror, do yourself up, wear something beautiful, something that you like, and smile. Just smile, and that will take away everything, and you will look gorgeous in whatever you wear. But it's the way you carry yourself in everything you wear. And my show very soon will be tips on what to wear and what sort of makeup to wear, how sort of clothes to wear as well. So there will be a show coming very soon on that. So this is the end of our show today. It has been an honor speaking to you and also meeting you all again. And before I leave, I would like to say I am truly inspired today. I hope you've all been inspired as well with the story that we shared with you. If there are women out there who has an inspiration story, please get in touch with us on Empowered Women BEON TV @hotmail.com. I hope you all have a wonderful time. Until next time, good night.
Thank you.